Hi guys, welcome to my channel Geography with Narendranath. Today I talk about the regional planning. It's very important for the very interesting topic, and this video are explain their type of planning, and also there are the regional policy in 5-year plan, and there are the first, second year plan and 5th year plan and 6th year plan, and also they are explained 9th year plan, 10th year plan, and there are the regional experiments of the regional planning in India. I will explain this video. If you are new, must subscribe my channel and click bell icon for notification. Now start my today topic, regional planning. The planning in one form or the other to has become necessary for the development of a country or the society today, and India is no exception is this regards. And the current economic and social condition in the country necessary and development in the planned manner, and the unplanned growth and lead not only to regional and difference in level of the development but also a host of their problem, and inadequate infrastructure and civic amenities in the rapidly growing the city provide a clear example of problem one may have to face as the result of uncontrolled and the unplanned growth, and the planning provide an efficient tool to steer the process of growth in a desired direction. And planning is done for a variety of the purpose and ranging from the socio-economic growth to the power of politics, and however most planning concerned with the socio-economic development for society. Planning is taken up to solve the problem and to being faced by the society and to overcome the problem that are likely to be faced, and the planning thus can be thought of means and so organized human society that can adjust itself to change the socio-technological environment and the change and utilize the environmental to maximize the welfare of the member. And now I explain there are the type of planning. Basically planning can be the various types and depending upon the purpose and firstly from the temporal point of view, and one can distinguish between short-term and long-term planning. And the planning can be economic and development and phenomena from the organizational point of view, and it is can be regarded as importance and indicate, and the planning process can be considered to the normative system, and the normative planning enjoy often the planner to search for the best possible result in the relation to the establishment goal, and there is less emphasis on the social and institutional dimension of the planning. The system approach the looks in the planning and from the social technical viewpoints, and planning can be sectoral or the spatial also, and sectoral planning is the most and commonly adopted from the planning and these days, and it is the essential for the spatial purpose of planning. And and the adaptive spatial planning is based on the recognize of the impact of general trends of the developments in the spatial system. The evolution of the latter is the constant as the response and pressure and the requirement the national economic development, and or active the spatial planning on the other hand. You must know there are the regional policy in the 5-year plan. Now I explain here the some very interesting Friedman and Alson have the outlines and list their three current meaning according to the regional planning is considered the systematic, and there are the regional development policy at the national level, and with the process of decision making and the design in the elaboration of the investment project and the national level, and with the economic development plan for subnational area. There is the in addition the feeling that the regional planning has something to do with the metropolitan developments and resource management and the agriculture and the community investment. However, one known this the definition and make the concept the meaning of the regional planning that the regional planning is basically spatial development and the planning, and it is originated to the further and the future and attempt to the organic human activities in the national and these are different manners, and that resources are utilized to maximum extent, and that economy of the country as well as of ease of the region develop at the rapid rate, and that the factor of economic and social developments are equality distributes among the region and among the group and who is region, and the gap and between the regional and national achievements of the minimized. You know that the economic and social development is so the way to where the artificial and design who is in the region and the carefully create the environment and conduct the physical and the mental health of the people. And varying national and regional development goal often given raise and the contribution between the national and regional growth policies. This is the especially the lag in the federal system of the government where planning and development authority are diffuse decision. First of all, first and second plan is very important in the early stage of the Indian planning in the problem of the issue and the regional development, and did not occur very clearly, and even though the first and second 5-year plan to mention the need for the spatial sphere and the diversification of the economic activities, the statement are qualified by several ifs and buts, and this statement merely indicate the development problem and needs of the country had been recognized. However, the hardly and any serious attempt at the regional barriers of the national plans was made during this phase. In immediate needs to the society in the early stage of the planning led to concentration and development and the efforts of the sector of the regional which could provide the maximum return of the help and solve immediate problems of the food security, refugee rehabilitation, and there are the question and regional development therefore did not there save the much attention. And very interesting there the third and fourth plan. During the third and fourth plan the regional focus the planning weakened because they expect and however that question and regional plans and continue to be the trait and as the long term and the issue the role of the regional planning as on the instruments and the national development was not the realized even this plan. The very purpose for the regional planning and development and was understood at this time, and it was considered to mean as a need to invest in the backward region so they could not attain the national level of the development. The whole approach was economic and the narrative. So very interesting, and during the second half of the 60s and the awareness of the spatial imbalance in the development and there are concerned and the reconstitutions and state 1956 and there are the however the state lacked the homogeneity in terms of the level of the living and the socio-cultural achievements, and the newly created and state could not be considered variable in the region of the for economic development and planning, and there were the varieties and variation level of the development among the various states, and this difference did not thus the diminish and with the successive plan in some of the state and the Andhra and Pradesh and the Assam and the protects against this plan. And the interesting the regional planning led to the plan commission and abandoned the practice and trading and state of the planning units, and this can be considered its significance the realization of this need for the regional development and the planning in the sectoral planning. And this important in this plan the fourth plan taking this fact into the consideration, concept and the scheme allocation, the central assistance and the permeation of the industry is the major instrument for the narrowing down the disparities. And the fifth plan, this fifth plan the concept and the acquirements and development the backward area and cooperative and toward the central and the government reason the research institution, the financing and the other state and the central corporation and cooperative and organization and the private sector all were to make their contribution and accordance to the well and formulated and the integrated plan of action. For this purpose, formulating operation the program and backward area were the ground into two broad categories. Number one, the area with unfavorable physical geographical condition such as the terrain, climate and region inhabited by the people of the typical and the cultural characteristics, and the next the economically backward area the marked by adverse land man ratio and lack the infrastructure of the inadequate development for resource potential, and separation program were formulated the implements, and that's the two types of the area. This plan introduced to the concept of area specific plan, while the formulating and the specific plan for the dot and Pune area, hill and tribal area and central project were implements, and dot Pune area and attention was given the development of the minor and medium irrigation, afforestation, soil conservation, horticulture, animal husbandry and drying. There are main development on this plan. And then talk about the sixth plan, and this was not much of the change in the overall policy of the government in the sixth plan. An emphasis on plan development of the backward and area the continue as it was done during the fifth plan. And this sixth plan regards the remaining that provided as the format most objectives were the like objectives the self relevance as full achievements in the feasible only in the long run. The chief objectives of this plan and including strain the implies and the achievements of the economic and technologically self-relevance and speedily development of indigenous source of energy, with the proper emphasis on the conservation and efficiency in the energy use and improving the quality and life of the people in generally, with the special reference to the economically and the social handicapped and the population through it is the minimum needs and program, and reducing and the reduction in inequality in the income and wealth, and progressive reduction in regional inequality, and protection and improvement of ecological and environmental aspect. And seventh year plan this plan also put emphasis upon the reduction of the difference between the development and the less developed region in the country. And one of the major aim of the plan was to remove the regional imbalance, and removal the poverty is one of the important long-term aim of the Indian planning, and it has been outlined among the objects of our plan. The emphasis on regional development planning increased during the 7th-year plan, and the strategy was made more spatial problem oriented for the future development. And there were the three major objectives that had been outlined in the 7th plan, and these were removal for the poverty, rural developments, and increase in the employment. And the rural development is most closely related to the regional planning, and emphasis was laid on and development of the resource integrated manner. The stress on the regional approach had not been given the especially part of the implied. However, in the spirit of the fact that the need for regional spatial approach to planning has long been felt, and realized this planning was still more the sector oriented. A major development in the planning process during the 7th plan was the identification of some problem regions such as the flat-prone area and dot-prone area and the tribal area and the hill area. A special plan were to multed for overall development such area. And these are the 8th plan. Another 8th plan, the 8th plan did not specifically outline the strategy of the planning in terms of the regional or the sectoral approach, but the program for the problem area started during the 7th plan and were the continue during the plan also. The major emphasis was laid on the development of the infrastructure in the various parts of the country, and with the objectives of the increasing this place of the development in the backward region, efforts were made of the attraction investment by the private sector in such the region by making the investment environmental more liberal. And however, the regional approach in the planning was not explicitly emphasized. Next, another plan, the ninth plan. The ninth plan also identified the development infrastructure as one on the major objective. It has been considered and the means of attaining higher level of the industrialization in this industrially backward area, also an attractive investment in this less developed part of the country. The regional policy, however, still has not been declared as the means of removal regional imbalance. And now I explain there the 10th plan is basically this approach paper to the 10th plan was adopted by the National Development Council and September 2001. The plan aimed achieving the 8% and the growth of GDP during the plan 2002 and 2007. The approach the paper to the plan recognized that the economic object and the cannot be the only objective of the national planning. On the addition, the target growth and GDP approach paper also and define monitorable target for the specific key indicator of human development, and this target related to lowering the indicated the property, expansion of the employment opportunity, and improving the literacy and the education, and restriction the population growth and provide their essential service like the clean drinking water. Effort is to concentrate on the raising of the level of growth and development, and there are the backward state in order to ensure that balanced development. All the state, the 10th plan include the state was record the broad target including the target and growth rate, spatial social development, and is very important. And the plan retain their concept to the spatial area plan and specific program have been considered important into the development of the backward area within the state, and the northeastern region has been identified for the special emphasis on the development. Northeastern Council NEC is the funds regional planning and project in state in this region the spatial area program and relating to the hill area and will emphasis on the like water set and development and the scheme. So there are the biodiversity and different plan about the environmental project. And so I explained there are the very interesting in this topic 5 as regional planning in India. There are the different plan 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 they are plan in this video. If you are new, must subscribe my channel and watching my video. Thank you to all.